Hello and welcome to my podcast. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And of course, you can always find us there as part of Ampire Media. That's AMPIRE. We're always going to be bringing you content. We have more throughout the week. On Tuesday, I'm going to have a roundtable interview session with three of the other beat reporters, Pete Haley from NBC Sports Washington, Sam Forday from the Washington Post, and Matt Pierce from the Washington Times. I wanted to get their opinions on where they feel this team is at heading down to the final four games. Are they going to finish this playoff push? Do they feel like there's been enough growth in year three under Ron Rivera? What do they attribute this great stretch or this great stretch? It's been 6 out of 8 wins, 6-1-1. So it has been a great stretch for them. So why is that? Can they sustain it? Get into all that. So that'll be on Tuesday. Look for that Tuesday morning. And, there you go. So today I'm going to bring you an interview with rookie quarterback Sam Howell. Yesterday I had an interview with Washington safety, second-year safety, Derek Forrest. With Howell, I wanted to talk to him because I know a lot of you guys are interested in him. And I know some people would like to see him now. Not going to happen. This isn't about that. But I did want to see, where is he at in his growth? Because is he a guy that could factor into the future? Well, the answer is yes. To what level? I don't think anybody really knows yet. What I do know is that they liked Howell before. I knew before the draft that they liked Howell. And I think if they had not traded for Wentz, that Howell would have been the quarterback they targeted in the draft. What round? Well, they got him in the 5th. So, would it have been second or third? Maybe they would have gone higher just to ensure they got him. The NFL, the rest of the teams did not view him that high, clearly, because of where he went. But it doesn't mean they didn't like him. They did like him. So they do see something about him that they want to try and develop for the future. Again, what level is that? I don't know, because they're going to have a lot of questions at quarterback in the offseason. Taylor Heineke, a free agent. Carson Wentz's contract, if you kept him, it's going to count $26 million, 26.7, I think, against the cap. Well, you can't do that based on what have we seen this year that would lead them to believe that they should do that. So I don't think they're going to do that. Now, whether or not they try to sign him at a lower cost to keep him around for a couple of years, I don't know. I would think they would try to re-sign Heineke. But then where does the job go? Who else do they try and get? But the key for this will be for Howell is his own personal development. And where does he go with all this? So that's why I want to bring him on. I know early on, a big factor was the footwork. And that's still something they're kind of working through, because it is a big deal. You taking the drops, the drops in each offense are not the same. So what Guy did at Carolina may or may not be the same as what he's going to do with whatever team he was drafted to. And in this case, Washington. It's a different game with the footwork. So, and how certain offenses do it is different from, the Shanahan offense would be different from the Scott Turner offense as far as how they do their footwork and go process the reads. So everything is different. So that's a lot to get used to. And then the confidence level to get to call the plays a certain way and then be able to read the defense. So it's not always like, oh, if Sam Howell had been in this situation, he'd have made a better throw than Taylor Heineke. Well, maybe, yeah. But maybe he's not in that situation because he reads it differently or at a different pace or time or rhythm. So those are all the things that he needs to get up to speed on. And that's what they're working on to make sure that give him a better chance. So I am curious to see this guy. I'm really curious to see how he progresses, whether it's this year, but also in the off season, and then seeing him in the spring and then the summer, what kind of jump does he take? And he's the only one that for sure is going to be here most likely. Anyway, so that's why I wanted to bring you the interview with him. I know a lot of the people are interested in him, and I think the Howellians will enjoy listening to him. And I think anybody should, right? Because he is a quarterback of interest here. So everybody should be interested in him. So that's why I wanted to bring on Sam Howell. So here's my conversation with rookie quarterback Sam Howell. From you. So I just want to give people an update as to where you're at with everything, and just when we talked a month or so ago, was still working on that footwork. Yeah. So where are you at with everything now in terms of your development?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like I'm in a really good place. It's been a lot of fun just being able to be active every game, and being one play away and just going through practice and getting some reps with the ones a little bit every now and then when they let me get in there. And I feel like I'm in a really good place mentally. I feel like if I was to go in there, I feel really confident in my ability to go in there and do well.
Where do you feel different?
I just think I just keep making strides in every aspect of it. I think my footwork has gotten better. And I still think there's areas for me to improve, but I feel really good about where I'm at in the offense right now.
That's probably going to be true no matter how long you play.
No doubt.
So,
yeah.
But what are some of the areas that, like, where maybe in terms of footwork? Because that, I think we talked the last time, is more so about kind of marrying the footwork to the concept.
To what we're
of the
trying
play.
to do. Yeah.
So where do you feel? Because that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
So,
And that's something I've been working on a lot. Before practice, after practice, and I feel like I'm in a good place with it. I'm starting to tie my feet into my brain, and I'm starting to learn more about, what we're really trying to do on offense and how my feet can match up to those things. And that's something that, I spend a lot of time on. Coach Zamp, he spends a lot of time on with me, and I feel like I've come a long way.
Is that a difficult thing? Is that like a more nuanced thing? Like, how tough is that?
Yeah, it was just a little different than what I was doing in college, is the main thing. So I didn't have a whole lot of experience with it. But, I really feel like I'm in a really good place with that.
Give me an example of, like, where some of the things that where you have to really work to tie it together. Like, what are some of the specific routes or anything like that?
Yeah, it's like main differences. Like in college, I'm basically, depending on the concept. In college, I basically took, the same drop for almost most of our pass plays. And here, every play, you got to know the exact drop, and you got to know how many hitches the ball should come out to each progression of the throw. So that was a little different for me, but it's something I've worked a lot at, and I feel like I'm in a really good place right now, and I feel good about where I'm at.
Being active on game days, how has that helped your development? Because you're still going to be on the sideline.
Yeah. Obviously, even when I wasn't active, I was still trying to prepare like I was playing. But I just feel like now, I get to get some reps. Some of the game plan plays that we're doing, I get reps of those some. Not a whole lot, but a little bit here and there. So just getting those reps, I think, helps. And I just feel like I have a really good understanding of, why we're calling these plays and what we're trying to get out of those plays.
How important is that?
That's really important. And Scott does a really good job Scott and Zeb do a really good job of kind of teaching us why we're calling a play and what we're trying to accomplish. And so I feel like I'm in a really good place.
In terms of, like, just being able to be yourself out there, is it hard to know where even for you, where you're really at? Because, you're not getting the game action.
Yeah.
So how do you tell where you're really at with things?
Yeah, I can just feel it. On the reps that I do get, I feel like I've shown that I've made a lot of improvement, and that I can go out there and play. And I just feel it every time I get a rep. I just feel so much more confident, and everything just feels like it's just in a lot better rhythm.
How many reps are you getting, like, for a week, would you say?
Yeah, usually, I get, like, one period during practice. So sometimes I get one period during Wednesday practice and one on Thursday. Some weeks it's only Thursday. It's here and there. It varies week to week.
So when you get that, like, how much do you go back and analyze what you're doing in those? Because that's essentially your game action, essentially.
Yeah, no, it really is. I got to maximize those plays, and I obviously I watch those plays a lot and try to look at what I could be doing better. Then I do all the scout team stuff as well. And I really try. A lot of the concepts we're doing on scout team are similar to what we do.
Right.
So I always try to put it into our terminology and try to tie my feet into those. So I get a lot of work doing that. And I didn't get to do the scout team when I was the third guy.
True.
So it was Taylor doing all those reps. So that's something that's helped me a lot. I've really tried to take advantage of those and try to play the scout team like it's a real game, because that's the reps I get.
You take advantage of what you get.
No doubt.
So what about in terms of mental reps? How do you handle that?
Yeah, every single play that Taylor gets in practice that I'm not in, I'm standing right behind him and going through it mentally, and making sure I know where the ball should go and when it should go there.
Before a game, are you doing anything differently or more to help? Because again, you're trying to get ready for a game, but you're also trying to develop too.
Yeah, I am. And I'm doing the same thing I was doing when I wasn't active.
Okay.
I take my preparation very seriously. That's part of my game that I think I do a really good job of preparing. And so I take that part very seriously.
Have you noticed that a lot of fans are anxious to see you?
Yeah, people are always going to say different things, but all I know is, whenever my opportunity comes, I'll be ready for it.
How excited are you for your future too? Because again, when you come out as a fifth-round pick, I know these guys liked you a lot before the draft. So,
yeah.
But you come out there. But where do you feel mentally now compared to even back in the spring?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a good place. I'm happy here with these guys and with these coaches. They've done a really good job and put a lot of time into my development. And I feel like I made a lot of progress. So I feel I feel good about my future. You know, I'm just kind of just taking it one day at a time, and just trying to control what I can control.
Last thing, what have you learned from Taylor and Carson that's maybe helped you?
Yeah, man, those guys have been awesome. You know, it's a lot of fun to be around those guys, especially as a young guy where they really don't have to help me at all, you know, and they both do, and they both try to teach me things here and there. And then just by kind of sitting back and watching and seeing how those guys prepare for games, you know, because those two are very different guys, very different guys, and so it's
kind of in between them, it almost seems like.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to see, you know, how both of them kind of go about their business, and how they are around the guys, and just how they go about their week, because they are different guys, and they're both really good quarterbacks, so there's definitely a lot to learn.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Cool.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no problem.